What's up guys, and welcome to the Nurse Nook. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Alexis Nicole and I make videos all about nursing, lifestyle, and wellness. In this video, I'm going to be chatting with y'all all about my nursing journey, how I went from a nursing assistant, also known as a nurse tech, all the way to graduating NP school. If you're an OG follower and have been here from the beginning, you know that I had a little bit of a rough start, but I make these videos to share my story and journey with you guys to let you know if I can do it, so can y'all. You just need dedication, determination. You don't need to be Albert Einstein. You don't need to have a 4.0 GPA. You just have to really want it, and then you can do it. So let's start from the top. I always knew I wanted to become a nurse. When I say always, I mean sophomore year in high school, I found videos about NICU nursing and I totally fell in love. I originally wanted to become a pediatrician, but I learned that in medical school, they dissect cadavers, and I was like, no thanks. And literally because of that one reason, I changed my entire career path and went to nursing, which honestly worked out great. I think I wouldn't have enjoyed medical school, and I just don't think that path would have worked well for me. So I love where I am now, and everything happens for a reason. So I went through high school knowing that I wanted to become a neonatal nurse practitioner, specifically because yes, I fell in love with NICU nursing, but I knew that I wanted to go further and do the most that I can with my nursing degree, which was become a nurse practitioner. That's my personal journey. There are tons of different things you can do with nursing, but that is just the path that I felt was best for myself. So fast forward, I'm in college. I'm doing my prerequisites, and I am just not taking college as seriously as I should be. And I did okay in A&P 1. A&P 2, this is actually a funny story that I tell in one of my first videos. It's not really funny, but it's just part of my journey. My parents had booked a trip to Paris for spring break prior to me knowing that I had a exam on the day that I was supposed to be traveling home to fly out. And so I ended up missing the exam, but I had already let my professor know there was a makeup exam that anyone could take at the end of the semester. My professor was pregnant and was going to be going on maternity leave. So right before spring break, she leaves. We get a new professor. I don't take the exam because I was already told that I could take the makeup exam. End of semester comes. The new professor did not let me take the makeup exam, y'all. So I ended up failing the class. Ooh, I was so angry with that lady. Her reasoning was because the ticket was purchased after the syllabus went out, that I should have known better and shouldn't have scheduled that flight. Mind you, it's not like she's giving me free points. I still have to earn the grade and take a makeup exam. So that's neither here nor there. That's just part of my journey, and I love to share this story because I overcame that and I am where I am today. So every part of my journey is purposeful. So moving forward, I had to stay on campus through the summer to retake the course. Y'all, I retook the course in the summer and I still didn't do well. I'm pretty sure I got like a high C on the summer course. It was faster paced. Honestly, I can make 1,000 excuses, but I really just was not focused. I was worrying about the wrong things. I was pretty limited to my ability to go out and hang out. In high school, my parents were a little bit on the stricter side. So when I got to college, I was like, oh my gosh, freedom. And I just was not focused, to be transparent. After sophomore year is when I finally woke up. I realized, okay, with the grades I have, it's gonna be super, super difficult for me to get into a good nursing program. Like, I have to straighten up. You know, I had my little fun time in college, and now I was like ready to buckle down and like get serious about life, but I had already kind of done not as good as I wanted to, so I had to kind of start from scratch. So I had gone away to college. I ended up moving back home with my parents after my sophomore year of college and taking courses at a local community college. I retook anatomy and I retook chemistry, I want to say, and I got an A because I was more focused and dedicated at that time. You see, it's not about how smart, intelligent you are, it's about how dedicated you are. But at that time, I found a specific nursing program in my area that I really, really wanted to get into. So I had to take a few courses that I hadn't taken previously. So that set me back about 2 semesters. I spent 2 semesters living at home with my parents, working part-time jobs, just taking these courses, getting ready to apply to this program. The program was with Seminole State College. It was a concurrent ADN and BSN program. So I would get my associates in nursing while simultaneously getting my bachelor's in nursing. That was really ideal to me because I could start working as a nurse while still working on my bachelor's in about a year. So I got into that program by the grace of God, and I was able to kind of start my journey into nursing from there. I know that's long-winded, but I always like to tell that part of the story because not everything is black and white. Not everyone goes from graduating college to getting into nursing school to graduating and starting their job. I had a lot of hiccups along the way. And so I just want to be transparent and share that, you know, if you are going through similar struggles or if you are not exactly on the path that you thought you would be on, it's okay because everything works out at the end of the day. So I'm in nursing school. After my second semester of nursing school, I started working as a nurse tech, which is also a CNA. They are essentially the same exact thing. The only difference is at CNA, you have like an actual certification. And as a tech, I just needed to complete 2 semesters of nursing school. So I think I was actually my 3rd semester at the time. Irrelevant. I had the amount of nursing experience that I needed. I started on a colorectal surgical PCU. If you're not familiar, there are a lot of G tubes, a lot of rectal tubes, a lot of colostomy bags. It was a really, really heavy unit, and that is where I got like my core experience on time management, how to interact with patients, how to do bed baths and all that stuff. So I really started from the bottom and worked my way up. I did that for about 2 semesters, and then I graduated with my ADN. Now, going into nursing school, I really thought that I wanted to just do NICU and nothing else, but everything I was learning in nursing school was actually really exciting to me. And I knew that if I started in the NICU, I would lose all of my other experience, everything else that I had learned. In nursing school, I really enjoyed the ER rotation I had. I thought it was absolutely crazy, hectic, wild bananas. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do. I knew that I just wanted to do ER for a short amount of time and then go to NICU because I just knew in my heart and soul that I would be in NICU forever. So I wanted to try other things because I knew that I was going to essentially retire in NICU, which is probably true. I graduate with my associates. I start in the ER. Like I previously experienced, it was absolutely bananas, bonkers, crazy. I gained so much experience from that job. In my heart and soul, I just think I'm not an ER nurse. I like structure. I like knowing what I'm getting myself into. The ER was just too high strung and too on the go. There was never a rest moment. And after a while, I just was like, okay, this was fun. I learned a ton, but I don't know if I could do this forever. I was working as a nurse with my ADN for about 6 months, and then I graduated with my BSN. I stayed in that ER for about a year. After that, I had my BSN now. I had a year of ER experience. I was ready to kind of get out and explore and live my like eat, pray, love life. So at that time, I moved by myself from Orlando, Florida to Houston, Texas to work in the medical center. Now at this time, I had 1 year of ER experience. I was ready to get into NICU because I was like, okay, I'm focused now. I want to get into NICU, get my 2 years of experience and go to NP school. Did not work out like that. I had a bit of trouble making the switch from ER to NICU, especially moving across states. So I figured I got a job opportunity at a PD ER/trauma center. So I figured this is a children's hospital. I can work in the ER for a little bit and then internally switch to NICU when I'm ready. I did that. I really enjoyed my experience there. I think definitely I enjoyed the PD ER over the adult ER. The coworkers were amazing. I actually worked with my now fiance there. It was just a really good experience. After working in the PD ER for a little under a year, I was kind of ready to move to NICU. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. As soon as I was ready to go, COVID happened and everywhere went on a hiring freeze. I could not internally transfer. And at this time I was really getting burnt out, and I just didn't want to dig myself in a hole where I had so much ER experience that it was not transferable to NICU, and I just would have, you know, kind of like an only ER nurse, and a NICU unit would see my resume and be like, okay, she's no use to us. So at that time, the one place that I was able to get a position at was a postpartum unit. I figured this is great. This is a great way to bridge my way to NICU. I can get the newborn experience, learn how to assess a healthy newborn, get practice with, you know, Billy lights, drawing labs, all that stuff. And so I did that for about 5 to 6 months-ish. It was not my cup of tea. Learned a ton. I think it was very purposeful in my journey. I learned a lot about breastfeeding, about hypoglycemia, protocols, and all that stuff. I just was not a postpartum nurse. I really just love the babies, and that's just really my jam. So after being in postpartum, I finally got the opportunity to get over to NICU. So I get to NICU and I'm like, yay, thank God, it's a level 4 NICU. Y'all, it was a big learning curve. Like that's my first time working in an ICU setting. I started in the ER. ER is like absolutely crazy, hectic, no structure. The NICU is like the most detail-oriented, structured place that you could work. It's literally like down to the detail, which is totally opposite of what I'm used to. So it was definitely a bit of a learning curve, but I was just so excited to be there. I finally felt like the gears turning, and I felt like I was finally on the right path. For some reason, I felt like a ticking time clock. I felt like every year that I'm not in NICU is another year that I cannot get into NP school because I need a certain amount of years experience before I can apply. And I just felt this time pressure. And looking back, I thought I think that that's very silly of me. I am now 29, I'm graduated. I'll be working as a nurse practitioner at 29 years old, which in the grand scheme of life is super young. I thought, if you would ask me when I was 15, I thought by 25, I would be working as a nurse practitioner for a couple years, married with 2 kids. And now I'm like, that is so silly. I don't know why I felt that. Well, I know why, like the societal pressure. I just hate that I felt that 30 was like a deadline of some sort, that my eggs are gonna dry up at 30, my brain was gonna disintegrate at 30, and everything was just gonna be over if I didn't complete everything on my to-do list by 30. Now 30 is like 10 months away from me, and I'm like, I really mentally feel no different than I did when I was 21. In the grand scheme of life, 30 is you're not even halfway done with life. It is so early. There is so much time to get into the groove of life and learn what you like and dislike and change careers. I hate that I felt the societal pressure to accomplish everything that I wanted to accomplish before 30, as if like life ends at 30 or something. It does not. It keeps ticking. You feel no different. It's just another year. So if you have that feeling, just know that it means nothing. Work on your timeline, work on your journey. Age means nothing. Back to my journey, I was in the NICU for about a year and I finally applied to NP school. Now, you technically needed 2 years of experience before getting into a neonatal nurse practitioner program, but I was fortunate that by the time I started clinicals, I would have 2 years of experience. So I was still able to be in the program with only a year of experience, but I did have the 2 years by the time I was actually working with the infants. So my program is essentially 2.5 years long. The first 1.5 years barely felt like I was in school. The last years when I started clinicals, and it felt like, okay, this is like really happening. I'm really gonna be a provider. This is a little bit scary. I did it, I graduated. I'm so thankful. That was literally like my life's mission. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I need something else to focus on now, because now my biggest goal is hit, and now what? Besides passing boards. I'm also very fortunate that I accepted a job offer prior to my last semester of school. So that's the great thing about being an NP and being in clinicals. A lot of the sites you work at, it essentially is like a job interview. So I was able to secure a job with one of my clinical sites, and I was so fortunate for that, because that was just one thing taken off my plate so I can go into my last semester, which is the heaviest one, and literally just focus on school, clinicals, exams, and not have to worry about being competitive on the job market, because that part was already taken care of. Now I'm planning to take my boards next month. After passing boards, I'll be able to start my job a couple months after that. Licensing and credentialing takes forever, but I'm so excited, y'all. Let this story be a testament to whatever you put your mind to, you guys can do it. I promise. Let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see in future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.